Okay. We are live. Yay! Alright. So, welcome back to Runerion, Shadows of the Past. Last we left off with the Locomotivators. You all started the trials for the Diamond of Tear Trove, one Gregario Dawnburst, to basically prove that you are worthy to enter some sort of deal with them between Crowncroft, well, specifically Bloodstone Family of Crowncroft and the Diamond. First trial was simple. Determine the weight of the worth of a crown, in which you gave a very fast and okay received response. And were brought along for the second trial, in which you were told you have 24 hours, you have a budget of 5 crowns, which is equivalent to 5,000 gold. Give me a plan that makes this place good, this burnt out building, with the least amount of cost possible. Most bang for your buck, essentially. You inspect the place as some of you go fan out and get the opinions of passersby about what should be done with the area, like what's people looking for in the Trader's Reach, which is mostly the crafting area of the town. And you got a mixture of, it should be a cafe, library, another crafting stall, something to that effect. Lots of very mixed responses. And this kind of stopped the moment that you all found a basement area to this burnt out building and delved beneath, finding a repository for a number of arcane engines, very familiar to you as they are almost identical to the ones that were attached to the kobold attack machines that you saw on the train heist when you all met, and in the wreckage that happened out near the farms. Reggie deciding to stay the night there to keep an eye on things. The rest of you kind of went back. The rest of you all went back to the Rabbit's Foot Inn to rest, deciding that tomorrow will be the day we handle what's going on there. And we come back to you all as you wake up the following morning, with the exception of Reggie, because I do believe Reggie said that he was not going to sleep because there's fucking shit going on there.
Yeah, so I'm the only one also that is not aware of what the fuck Reggie's doing.
Unless he was given brief information, but he doesn't know the details. He says, I'm not coming, it didn't come back.
Yes, I think it's Seville knows what you're doing.
Yep.
And we were all little testies, so nobody's really been super informed.
Lusterborns isn't testy.
What I am.
Well, he's a robot. He doesn't have them.
Oh my god.
And we are 3 minutes into this session with a dick joke.
He has been demonetized.
That's not a dick joke. It's a balls joke.
True. Very different. Two different
cock and ball jokes.
Parts of the body. Yes. Oh, okay. We didn't specify. I see. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize if you hadn't played for 2 weeks.
No problem.
Was last night was.
You came into my room and.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I was drunk as fuck. Okay.
Yep. So, is it the next morning?
I think we're planning on it was going to be a long rest for you all. Unless there is something now that you want to kind of flash back to the day of.
I certainly passed the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, okay, so I'm going to be 100% honest. I barely remember last session.
You were sick as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you also missed like
half of it.
I missed like half of it, and then when I did get up, I just remember the room spinning and then feeling better after I finally went to go vomit.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
Yeah. All right. General gist: you were the one to help survey the building. You gave me a bunch of notes. I have a slew of notes from you all about what you all discovered. Lesterborn basically. Okay, well, Reginald surveyed the type of people working in the area, and specifically the townsfolk that live there and what their jobs are and what things they would like to possibly have. You surveyed the building and basically found that it was beyond repair. this is dilapidated as fuck. And it wasn't until later when Reggie came in that you two explored the basement together, and that's when they found the machines. Lesteborn really basically went snooping about me. And went trying to get information on the Bloodstone name. Proceeded to tell me that it was a good, like, 75% of people think we're all a bunch of weirdos. I had a mental breakdown, went drinking. You went back to your room after knowing that Reginald, you're the only one, if I recall, that knows Reginald's entire plan, which is to stay in the basement
For the
back
night.
at Trader's Reach. Yep. And then the last thing you really did was I went into you and Reggie's room,
Yeah.
blurted out on "I'm sorry," and then you got on to me,
I offered to heal the drunkenness.
and then I stepped away. But you kind of got on to me and said, if you're going to apologize, you need to just fucking fess up to him, not me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even really bother to find out where the fuck he was.
And then passed out. That I do
You were
remember.
giving the explanation that Reggie was sleeping in his own room, vague enough to not be alive.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't right. You didn't lie to me. I remember. You said he's sleeping in his own place tonight. I think something like that. Which I'll tell you, Aurelia ain't gonna remember that. She stumbled up unless he saw her fumble her way to her room and barely make it and then die.
And the only other thing that I think wasn't resolved is I gave several like detailed blueprints and the schematic of the size of the plot area, including the basement, to deliver to Aurelia.
Yes.
Yeah. That you messaged me about. Okay. And I was just waiting for a yeah.
I will say I'm definitely up last. And if anything, not up soon enough to maybe be worrisome to like Lesteborns.
Sworns, yeah, would just. Well, he is never one to invade on privacy.
Okay, I was just gonna say I'm unnaturally taking a long time to get up. But I'll say I eventually get up at like maybe fucking 10.
Yeah, if it was noon, he would go inspect.
Yeah, we've been getting up, I think, relatively early. We've been saying like between 7 and 8. So I'm like by like 10, 10:30, some shit like that.
Especially because he knew you were drinking.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait, so.
I will. Are you two also up already? I assume.
Yep.
All right. I'll eventually show up downstairs if you all are somehow still down there by 10. But I don't know.
Those ones would be at the table reading, likely with Seville, and seeing Aurelia approach. He'd look up. A couple of orange juice, perhaps, to help with the hangover.
I just nod and I sit down.
Sworns would close his tome and wander off briefly to go request an orange juice, leaving the two of them.
Did I do anything? Like, did I break anything? Did I do anything like incredibly irrational last night? Several.
No, not to my knowledge. Although, how clear would you say your head is right now?
I'm tired, but I'm certainly thinking better once I can move past the headache. So, clear enough. Why?
I procured the blueprints that Reggie gave me and hand them off to her.
He's very well good at sketching. Does he come back? You said he was. Is he around?
He is around. I imagine we'll be running into him shortly.
Right. I have a few ideas. I'll probably spend part of the day planning them out. DM, question about our. I know you had given us, what was it, 3 crowns? Or 5 crowns?
5 crowns.
5 crowns. Does Gregorio's, is this a detail that was omitted because it's meant to be omitted, or is this a detail that would have been conveyed to us and we just kind of forgot or slipped through? Are we supposed to know exactly how much our plan will cost? Or do we give him the plan and he runs by how much it would have cost? Like, what our ambitions would cost? Like, do I need to, like, get exact pricing?
The conveyance is that the plan has to be below 5,000 crowns. And he didn't say you have to come up with a plan that costs a certain amount, but he did imply that he's not the one who's charged of calculating that stuff.
Okay. I had quite the idea last night after, well, this morning after reading over some of the notes and getting an idea of what the people down there want. Mostly just and correct me if I'm wrong, it's basically just the homes of people who work there and have shops there.
More or less, it's basically like a lot of the housing here seems to be what's I looking for? The shops that are there can also function as homes for some of the artisans there. And some are living in homes and they travel to the workplace, but they are like living in the same area. Like they walk down the street to their stall to work.
Let's see. So they have to walk off the market to work. But they could function as running their business out of their home. There's a couple of pieces I would like to discuss with local civil engineers and such, just about general pricing. But I did have an idea that I'll produce from my like breast pocket, like what's clearly just like a bar napkin, and on it I have written out at least a general idea of basically having a I know they wouldn't have this term, I'm just trying to think of a better term, but like a satellite winery and cafe, and basically saying, if this is a place, people here do have to do quite a lot of walking, as we have learned. It's not quick to get around. We're already dealing with a working class that has to go home to a place of which they work, and very much spends their day on foot, moving about, and not exactly having a place to relax, as seen by many of the requests, such as books, potential bookstores and cafes and such. But we are also dealing with people who have jobs out of their homes. I'd like to find out how much they are able to get away from this area, alongside how much foot traffic comes around that area. Because if people have the ability to more easily work from their own homes, then they bring traffic to their actual shops and don't have to go motoring across the entirety of Trader's Reach to the Gilded Grove just to get a decent drink at the end of the day. The only thing I need to find out is a survey of how many bars and or wineries or potential places as that are about Trader's Reach. But just from Reginald's notes, there's nothing like that in the immediate residential area. And based on what we surmised with the building, I think we won't be able to salvage it. I think this is going to be something that's outdoors, and we spend more time in aesthetically functional than bothering with a large, roof and restoration of the entire building. And you did say there was a basement, which would be easy to store everything that's needed for functioning for drinks and books and such. And making it more of an open communal area rather than having to make another place of work for these people. Obviously, some people will have to store the place, but I don't doubt that they're, hurting for people looking for jobs around here. So that's my general idea. Is we're both representing what is a very proud and outward-facing business of the entire city, but giving a place where those who are on foot and working all day can instead be a lot closer to such luxuries and have them nearby. At least that's my idea.
The challenge was the...
What was it? The greatest good for the amount of people for the least cost?
More or less. Basically, the idea is that the cheaper it is to create, but with the possibility of it being good, is being outweighing it. So yeah, basically, like I said, greatest bang for your buck.
And if we are dealing with any import, this is literally things that are raised and created here, just moved to a different part of town.
They could be moved to a different part of town. Although, given...
And from... So, out of curiosity, let's see. Do you want me to roll anything to glean anything else other than what I already know about the building being basically needing to be condemned from the blueprints that Reggie gave me?
No, it's pretty much spot on. Like, it's heavily damaged. It's going to take a lot of work to get it back into a proper form. Not impossible, but it would take a decent chunk of your business plan to get it fixed.
What if, instead, the building itself were condemned, completely, torn down, brick by brick, and a new park could be also quite good for the citizens of the area. It could help up morale, get to see more of nature, get to have a place to safely spend time with their families. And as one of the challenge parameters stated, it would be relatively within cost to simply tear it down and plant the plot.
I certainly was planning to rip down the building. Perhaps going for merely a majority park, but still leaving communal spaces for drinking and reading and such wouldn't be a bad idea. Take that and kind of mash it together with the initial plan. I just want to make sure that there's something that still represents the hard work of the people. That's not a bad idea, though. Given what we know about the oasis and the water there, if we have to, we need this done quicker, we could commission the Arcana Quarter. That's not a bad idea. We'll take the sort of winery approach, but make it into more of a small communal gazebo of a building, if you will. Put it on top of the land, and then clear out the rest around, and treat it more as a park. It's almost like a small town center for the folks living there. I like this. This will do good. Let's see. We need to find a company here who would be willing to do the demolition. How much that would cost? How much it would take some carpenters guild to build a small functioning building, and then find a herbalist who would be able to do the landscaping, and potentially, if we have to expedite the whole growing and nurturing of the place, we can, given how far away it is from the center of the oasis, we can ask the Arcana Quarter about it, since they do hold it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Arcana Quarter has control over the oasis water, right?
They don't own the oasis water. They're part of the they're part of the group that basically handles research into it as well as development. So they don't.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the more magically inclined section versus like Gilly Grove's more naturalistic approach.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, then we'll probably talk to the Grove and leave the Arcana Quarter out of it, because I imagine they'll be very expensive. But, as I do still believe, we could at the very least keep a bit of wine down there at the bottom of the basement and use it as a small storage. I think this will do good. I basically go through, scratch out some of the larger, building aspect of what I have, and, kind of basically scratch out the general larger building plan I have and shrink it all down into one tiny condensed building. That's just on top of what is the slab, and then show how I'm gonna kind of right over the basement door essentially, and then I just basically start drawing trees and flowers around the rest of it.
Wow.
This is what we'll present. I'm going to need to do some research unless either one of you. I reach over for the orange juice. Thank you.
Yeah, let's right back then.
Oh yeah. In case any of you want to go do a bit of the research for me, but I am starting to suspect there's a reason why Reginald is not here.
Westmoreland would actually have a quizzical look with a little shrug.
Does anybody want to let me in on why he's not here?
He stayed an extra night in the building to continue his inspections.
The building needs further inspection. Are we going to go meet up with him? Or...
I do not mind doing so. I had parted with him earlier in the night, so I had not known where he ended up.
I see. Well, unless you all want to help, I will, I guess, get to my day of figuring out pricing for this particular project.
If you need any help, please let me know. I am free all day as well.
If you're offering,
Yes,
then
I believe is what I was doing.
if you wouldn't mind, I am going to go and look into the demolition and building of the structure, the demolition of the building and structure that we're looking to create, albeit very small. Would you be willing to go and find, research and find out if there is a, damn it, I had the term, and now, a place that would be willing to handle landscaping for a small park.
Landscape contractor?
Yes.
He'd give a nod of his head. I will do my best. I will ask around for a good place.
Thank you.
I will see what Reggie is up to.
Yes. Good. Well, thank you both for all your assistance, and I surmise I'll see you when I see you.
Do we want to meet up at the building itself or back here?
I'll already like.
Itself.
Yes, we'll return to the building, say this later this afternoon. Probably evening at this rate. God's heavens, I've got a terrible start to my day. Alright.
You can try and aim for it about when the sun starts to go down. It's the sun. What's the word?
Sunset.
Well, yeah, but what is the sun hitting? No, the edge of line where the sun.
Horizon?
Thank
The
you.
horizon.
Yeah, when the sun starts cresting the horizon, you can aim to meet then.
Very well. Well then, I will see you then. And I will get up, grab a few belongings, finish my orange juice, and head out towards, I would assume... I guess I'll roll to find out if it's, if I have better luck, I guess, asking around Merchant's Quarters or Trader's Reach for civil engineers. Or is that something I'm already privy to?
This is something you're probably more privy to. Merchant's Quarter seems to be where people sell a lot of things. Trader's Reach where a lot of crafts happen. So you feel like
that's what I thought.
Yeah, if you're looking for trade skills and all that, you'd be better off in Trader's Reach.
Alright, then I'm going to go searching around. I'm going to take my little now having redrawn it on Reginald's huge thing of schematics, I'm going to head off to Trader's Reach and try to find a team that would be willing to make a small gazebo-like building that can connect to a basement and demolish a huge old steelworking building.
Okay.
After sitting around a little bit, Westbournes would probably go to the Wayfinders Guild and ask who they recommend as a kind of contractor around here.
Going to the Wayfarers Guild.
Wayfarer, sorry, not Wayfinder. That's a game.
Asking for landscape person. Who would handle that? Tell me.
Almost like asking, like, who do they use, kind of thing, because it looks good around here. Kind of. Yeah.
Let's see. They probably said that was supplied by the city. So you probably speak with the district lead, which you've already talked to before. He's the one who directed you about the rats and rat thieves.
At the city hall, right?
City hall, yeah. Or the city, like
All right, that's where I'll start heading next.
Let's see here. Yeah. So you go over there real quick, and see about what would it cost, or let me ask, what are you looking to find here?
Well, first I'd probably ask. Pretty much I'd just ask the desk who I could speak with, to ask about contracting, landscaping, recommendations for what they had done around here, specifically with places like the Wayfarers Guild and the City Hall itself.
Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so person behind desk takes your request and they go into the back and person comes out later. A older looking Eric Cochran man, basically a bird man. And
Is it our seed?
It is not our seed.
Okay, good.
That'd be amazing because if he was a landscaper, that'd be hilarious.
For everything.
But you see a Eric Cochran man in very basic like tunic and all that. And he's like, I am Krier. I'm told that you are looking for landscaping help.
Yes. I had some inquiries and was hoping for a brief consultation about a plot we were looking at out in Trader's Reach.
Oh, Trader's Reach is very mixed when it comes to vegetation, all that. So depending on where the plot is, that will determine the kind of work to be done. But I'll need to inspect the area before I can make any determinations on what we can install there and what would need be for upkeep.
Oh, of course. If you have any time today, or we can work on your schedule if you need. I'm sure you're a very busy man.
I will have to. I'll send an agent over. If you can give me the address for the plot, I can send someone over there to do an inspection. We are.
Do
pretty
I
busy,
know
but
the address off the top of my head?
off the top of your head, you were just there
If
the other
not,
day,
I
so
can describe areas around it. I just wasn't sure if I was ever told like the address.
you
I
probably
guess.
weren't given the specific address. But when you start
I was gonna say,
explaining,
we have addresses.
I can point it out on a map if they have a map.
yeah, they have a map. I mean, more or less, when you explain,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the place that burned down
It's
recently.
this one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can have someone check that place out and see what can be done with that area. I'll send some out there. You'll probably get news back. Are you planning to go by that station sometime today, or?
Yes, when sunset or so, we will be out there.
Oh, the report will be done by then. I can have my agent hang around there for someone to take the reading, and they'll give you basically a estimation of what it would cost.
Do you mind if I ask? You seem like someone who, well, of course, you're someone who's been keeping an eye on the various properties and such around here. Do you often find yourself in Trader's Reach?
Oh, from time to time. A lot of the work is mostly in Gilded Grove, since that is a lot of land to till and to update. But Traders does have its fair share, especially around the colleges, that keep the campuses looking pretty. So I would say I spend a fair amount of time at Traders Reach when I'm called out.
Would you think a more casual style place, such as a park with, I guess, a few attractions here or there, is a good fit for the area? That is what we're looking into doing.
Oh, turn into a park. Oh, it'd definitely be more of a engagement for me because it's a lot of landscaping you do with a park. When I want a park in Traders Reach, I mean, it is pretty bustling there. So having a quiet area would be pretty nice, honestly.
It seemed to be when I was asking around, what the common consensus would be is a lot of busy everyday work. Everyone's, bustling and working pretty much at home. It'd be nice to have a little escape from the mundane.
Yeah. And if you're planning to turn into a park, I'd be pretty great, honestly. In my opinion. But I mean, again, I'm a landscaper.
Music to my ears. I appreciate your help.
No problem.
Do you need any more information from me?
No, I got the location. I guess.
The Locomotivators.
Okay, that's your group name.
Correct. We met on a train.
Okay. Jots it down. I'll have one of my agents handle the estimation on it. Is it gonna be a pure park or is it gonna be buildings? Just so I know what.
That's little up in the air at the moment, but I would say open mind for either.
Right. I will plan for a small building. I'll give a range estimate then for a small building to a large building. So it's a community center or is it just a little shed for storing materials? All right. I'll note that down. I'll send over my agents when I send them out there.
Thank you very much for all your help.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
A great rest of your day. And he'd give a quick nod of his head and duck on out.
All right. Seville, are you doing anything?
I'm just gonna head over, talk to fucking Rex. Hang on, sorry.
Oh, Reggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my dad's in the ER again, so I'm just texting my mom back. Fucking hell.
Are you good, man? Or
yeah, I'm good.
okay. Well, speaking of, we'll hop over to Reggie's point of view. So I've gotten to today. Reggie, you have spent all night in the basement. Now, I just want to confirm. You said you were not going to sleep because you want to keep an eye on this stuff.
I am not sleeping. That is correct.
All right. Just make a note that you will have one level of exhaustion until you take a long rest.
Okay.
I guess give me a perception check. $20. Ooh, okay.
Anytime my acrobatics check.
Keeping an eye out. You're vigilant. You're used to these kinds of things. Stakeouts, waiting for animals to pop by. You're waiting for anything to move. I'll say this with confidence. Nothing shows up in the middle of the night. You keep a stern watch over the area. You hear the footsteps of above, like people passing by, but you don't hear anybody sifting through the ruins, trying to get into the basement area. You don't see any movement among all the engines. They are not stirring. Nothing is there. So you're pretty confident that nothing is in the area that could harm you or take these engines.
Okay. I'm still just gonna stay hidden in my corner with my gun at the ready.
Sure thing. And you're just keeping focus. You're not you trying not to pay attention to how much time's passed, but you're just keeping that gun trained, ready for anything. As Seville comes by, so you approach the burnt exterior of the what is going to be maybe hopefully soon a very nice park. And you look around, nobody seems to be hanging around, loitering. Seems like it's just being left to itself. Seville?
Hmm?
You've made it to the building, and you're there with whatever you want to do.
Alrighty. Just probably immediately just try to figure out where the hell Reggie's at.
Doesn't seem to be hanging above ground at the very least. You don't see him like shrouded in any corners of the burnt building. The entranceway to the basement is uncovered though, so you have free access to that.
Alright, let's go check out the basement.
As he steps down the basement, he hears the click of a gun begin to, like, not begin to fire, but like cocking almost. You hear it click into place.
And just 1 second. I
Swear.
I shield of faith myself and turn around.
Who goes there?
Do I recognize his voice?
It's a little like raspy and tired, but it's Reggie. You've heard him enough.
One fucking night in an abandoned building and you are pulling guns on people like this? Hello,
Seville.
Reginald.
Reggie is going to climb out of a darkly lit corner, and like when doing the process, he's like moving different pieces of machines out of the way of him. And when he steps out in front, he just has like an awful 5 o'clock shadow and massive bags under his eyes. I trust your night went well, Seville.
Better than yours, it would seem. So, is there anything new that you were able to glean?
There was no activity, but, you know, with the kobolds active as they are, who knows when they may come in here to get another machine.
I suppose so. Were you able to glean anything else for Aurelia?
Oh, about the building?
Yes.
It's fucked.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we ended up deciding. Regardless of what happens, the building's going to come down.
But we may have to slow down the construction plans.
Oh?
I mean, these machines are near identical. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris. They were like the same machines that the kobolds were using, right?
They look... It's hard to tell because you didn't take a good look at the ones that were attached to the train, and the one that you found outside of the farms was exploded and destroyed. But the materials, some of the pieces, they look very similar. If they're not the same type, they're still like a similar build, like a version type.
These machines are very, very similar to the ones we've seen the kobolds use in their attacks, so it may be worthwhile to get the city guard involved and see if there's not something bigger going on here. Perhaps a cache of vehicles that the kobolds have been using.
Yes, would be a good idea to alert the guard for this. Well, let's get you cleaned up. I'm just gonna, like, grab him and, like, try to drag him off.
I do not fight back. So, when will the rest of the group be arriving? I trust you've told them the situation.
Yes. We are all well aware, and we are working on various solutions that involve taking the building down.
Well, yes, but with the vehicles.
Oh, the vehicles, yes. Are we aware of it?
Nope. Nope.
You didn't.
Unless you you didn't tell us.
You were the only other one aware.
Fuck.
You hid that from us.
I'm going to be honest here, Reggie. It slipped my mind.
I love it.
Well, I feel like I've wasted my night now.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I really can't think of anything to say on the matter. Please understand that I was indisposed with acute digestive issues.
I understand, Seville, but you do owe me a drink.
Deal.
I suppose I should find something to do or somewhere to clean up, as you suggested, until the rest of the group gets here.
Hang on a second.
Please don't shoot the agent that shows up.
I pull out a.
Please don't make a 30-minute comedy bit out of it.
Oh God! I pull out one of my sickle from my pack and hand it to him and say, "If you would like to shave, you can use this."
Reggie will take off his goggles, polish it with his sleeve a bit, and then shave using the reflection of his goggles.
Okie doke.
Sorry. I'm processing what you just fucking said.
Make a big check.
Yeah, it's gonna be a check. This would be technically a nature check. You're trying to manipulate forces of nature in order to reflect light sharp enough to cut your beard. Or cut your
No, I'm using the sickle, but I'm using the reflection from the goggles.
Yeah.
I thought
burn an ants over
I
here.
thought you were gonna use the goggles and reflect the light.
No.
Burn his beard off.
Wow, you
That's the coolest thing I've
you
ever
zoned the
heard.
fuck out.
I am now, though.
I'm sorry. Yeah. The goggles are give me a dexterity check with advantage because you have the reflections. You're able to kind of aim it right.
Is that cancel out with the exhaustion?
It would cancel the exhaustion. It would be a straight dexterity roll. So just roll d20, add your dexterity modifier.
So would that be a saving throw or just a check?
Just a check.
Okay. 17.
You might nick yourself once or twice because it is a curved blade and all that, but easy enough. You're able to get rid of the shadow and get it back to your original handlebar version.
Well, I suppose I should continue watch here just until we can get the city guards or someone involved, or at least disclose it to Aurelia to see her further plan with that.
Yes.
I imagine the timeline for the diamond is coming up, and having the big delay with the guards might not be the best.
Probably not.
Well, if you have anything you need to do, Seville, I think I'll just continue sitting here. But if you don't mind, whenever you have the time, if you could bring me some food.
Sure. You know what? I'll go wander off and I'll. Are there any restaurants or like shops nearby, like little stands?
Yeah, bag of burgers.
There is some stalls along the main road that do sell some tiny treats and all that. Mostly like pastry because it's so early in the day. Baked pastries and stuff like that.
Okay. I go and buy him, I guess, like a muffin or something.
Sure, easy enough. Basic muffin, blueberry muffin, blackberry muffin, whatever muffin you want. I don't know what muffins are.
Okay.
All right, I'll buy him a bran muffin. How's that?
Sure, buy me a bread muffin. It's 3 copper.
Okay. And save. Okay. I'll bring that back to him, and if you want, you can shift away from me.
Sure. Let's check in with Aurelia. So Aurelia. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around for building contractors who would be able to demolish a building, and then possibly, if not them, a different, possibly team that could, if not the same team, then even a different team that would be willing to make like a small, essentially like a small town center gazebo of sorts, above a basement, so that if need be, at least a new set of stairs to get down there. That could be stored. That could store wine barrels, and then pretty much just a few benches or seating around like the park.
Sure. Easy to do. Let's see. Roll me an investigation check.
13.
13? Okay. You find there are several companies around that will handle demolition and a building, like a small building.
Okay.
To build like a small like center and get benches out there. And with I would say probably with the map that Reggie drew, like the dimensions and everything. If you're trying to build like exactly like another building right on top of it, but it's like a smaller building.
It doesn't even need to cover the whole length of the building as long
Right.
as there's a way to cover up like the rest of the concrete with like grass or something. Just basically a small enough area. Like I'm imagining like essentially a gazebo or a not a completely roofed building, and it doesn't have to be even like a story tall.
Okay.
With the few beams just to cover, and let sunlight in, but not completely open. A tiny bar, a door behind the bar that can go down, that can get down there in case more wine is needed, and then benches around.
Okay.
And since he did say it was a park, maybe for kids, like I float the idea, if need be, for small attractions like a seesaw and stuff, if there's going to be kids around.
Yeah. Let's see. For a lot of that, it'll be carpentry area. They would, for the small building that is like open but not too open, for park benches and everything, and for demolition. I would say it's going to cost about 1,500 gold.
Okay. So we're still not at a crown yet, right? How much was a crown?
A crown is 1,000, so that's 1.5 crowns.
Okay, 1.5 crowns, and we still don't know what the
landscape
thing will be for that. Yeah. That's not terrible, given we have 5 crowns, and we're definitely saving on the fact that we're just doing demolition and not.
Yeah.
I definitely. I note that it's not it doesn't need to be a secret that we're working. I'll let them. I'll basically just ask for an estimate in writing, and then ask that they give me, a solid 24 hours to return with accepting the offer.
Sure thing. Easy enough. They write you up a note with their information on it, and it gave you an estimate of about 1,500 gold, 1.5 crowns to demo, build a small building on top of that to an approximation, and apply benches. As far as like getting like seesaws and all that, there go. It might cost you extra little gold if you want to do it via wood, but if you want to make the metal seesaws or you want to make them out of different materials, it will cost differently based on that. But at least for the benches and the building, that's guaranteed 1,500.
Okay, cool. That's what I'll take for now as the main cost, and then we'll factor in after, we present the idea to. I'll at least say that I take kind of a note of what potential other attractions will be and add it on as potential costs, but not, what I'll present is the grand total of the key stuff, and then an additional like side if we believe it's necessary.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so I'll take at least the main. I'll take that and eventually make my way over to the building to meet up with everybody.
Okay. Let's see. Lustborns, are you doing anything for meeting up with everybody?
Nah. I probably actually end up getting there before the sun gets even close. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, we
Probably
definitely
like
do.
spot Reggie and I chilling here.
Like, are you Reggie and Sub? Are you hanging like near the building?
Yeah, I imagine that we're just outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like sitting in the entryway to the building.
Let's see here. You see walking up to the building, kind of like looking it over, as well as the nearby area. You see a tall, elvish man. His hair is pulled back in like a brown like ponytail. His garb is not tattered, but definitely like worn, like he's been out and about everywhere. He has a little satchel on the side, and he seems to be like looking over the place and just like jotting stuff down in a little notebook.
I look to Seville. Are you expecting someone here?
No. Not unless, although, we're probably the landscapers getting an estimate on costs.
Ah, makes sense.
Shoot so many ways.
He has a clipboard.
He does have a clipboard. Very professional looking.
Indeed.
He comes over to the land and like grabs some of like the dirt and everything and just sniffs it, licks it.
My good fellow.
Oh,
Why?
why what?
Why?
Does the taste of the dirt? Are you capable of tasting the raw minerals that lie within?
Taste the acidity.
That checks out.
Well, fair enough.
That checks out.
Are you the owners of this building?
I just stare at Reggie.
No.
I don't think so.
Then what business is it of yours if I eat the dirt?
Oh, we were just curious.
Curiosity and concern for the health of another being?
You have a point. He just goes to another area, just picks up dirt. He's to like make a around the area. It just keeps like you can see him like from the cracks through the building and all that. You see him just getting a read on the place.
Walking around, repeat. Walking
I'm
around,
gonna
repeat.
turn to Seville and just kind of whisper, I guess you meet all kinds of folk?
You know, I've seen the tactic for vineyards, and I have to say, there's got to be a better way to go about that.
You know what? I do have one other stop I'm gonna have to make before you go to the building.
That's
I
fine.
mean, if it works, why replace it?
Because he's eating dirt.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, this man, he just his garbage. He just takes notes and he just scoops up some dirt, licks it.
Tasty dirt.
He checks his notes again, just kind of just make a note. And he's like, right, be about. He just starts marking like X's and he's just like it seems like he's just jotting a lot of stuff down just immediately. And then he closes up like, "You gentlemen have a good day." And
You
as well, my good sir.
and he walks down like he leaves, and then like about 10 minutes later he comes back with a muffin, and he just looks at you all like, "Oh, I thought you were leaving."
We thought you were leaving.
We thought you
Oh no, I'm here to meet up with someone. I thought you guys were just loiterers.
Who are you meeting up with?
Thumbs his notebook. Locomotivators.
Oh,
Well,
well,
that's
we're
us.
happy with that. So feel free to sit here and wait with us.
So you do own this building?
I don't think so.
Just looks at his notes. Fuck it. He sits down next to you guys, just eating a muffin.
Can I check? Can I go to the gilded room before I head back?
Sure.
The pricing I forgot I need to check.
Yeah.
I would like to go to the same winery that I basically spent all night in.
Oh, they are happy to see you.
Oh, I bet. I walk on in, and I would like to immediately ask for who the proprietor / owner of the place is.
Who would be the proprietor of this place? Let's see here. We're going to doopa. You asked for the proprietor of this vineyard and all that, and the person you probably talked to them like last night whenever you were
I was
drinking.
gonna say, I bet eventually they came out to introduce themselves to the highest paid customer of the night.
If it's you, Miss Bloodstone, let me go grab them real quick, y'all. And he just runs to the bag.
Thank you.
And coming from the bag, you see this tall, oh god, my brain stopped working there. A tall human woman. She has like her hair in one long like black beret that goes like over her shoulder and like down across her body. She's wearing like just very fine threads. And she extends a hand and she's like, Baldahue.
Baldahue. Aurelia Bloodstone.
I've heard a lot about you from my workers.
Wonderful. Hopefully I was like respectful and a good patron last night.
The most important part, Miss Bloodstone, is that you were a paying patron.
That is correct.
How can I help you today?
I actually came here after getting to survey almost the entire selection last night with a small proposition of business, if you would lend me your ear.
Well, I'm never one to say no to business. What kind of business is it that you're seeking with us?
We have been commissioned. Was I allowed to say who we were commissioned by?
He didn't say you had to keep it on the hush-hush, so as far as you know, you're open to talk about it.
We have, by we, I mean myself, the Bloodstone family, have been commissioned by Gregoria the Diamond to work on a bit of restoration and rehabilitation for a location down in the Trader's Reach. Something that would ease the spirits of the people, benefit the workers down there, and myself and my compatriots kind of come up with a bit of a idea of a park / ancillary location for a winery around here. I was going to do a bit of shopping around and asking, but seeing as you all were the ones that I spent most of my evening and post on last night, I wanted to potentially get an estimate for how much it would be to maybe have a server or two and be allowed to or be willing to move a few barrels of stock to a location down at the very southeast end of Trader's Reach.
Wouldn't cost too much to haul stuff around. Hiring on more hands, though, to act as a auxiliary port for our store would be a cost, but obviously I'd be being recompensed for the sales at this auxiliary place, correct?
Of course. The part of the ability is for the people who work down there and to have a place to relax after a long day's work, as I have not found much in far away of competition in the region, and most of them end up having to go from one place of work back to their own homes that serve as a secondary one. The idea we're having is a more of a communal space where people can relax after a hard day's work and not have to go too far for said relaxation.
Understand.
It will be a small building, and it does already come equipped at least with a suitable and usable basement for the keeping of any stock.
If I...
And again, I was going to say, and again, this is the diamond who will at least, who is presenting us with the opportunity for this plan, so...
Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Let's fucking go. Why does it sometimes give me the little thing to do with advantage, and sometimes it doesn't? I hate that. Only a 14, but it's a 14.
It's a 14, yeah. See her, like, she's like... You can see her, like, she's looking away, and you can just see the gears turning in her mind. Well, I would not be opposed to such a collaboration, but... One sec.
He's dying? So is Bordeaux?
Achoo!
Yeah, no, I was sneezing.
And what happened when he muted?
We'll never know.
I sneezed. All right, next one I won't tell you. Collaboration would be good. If I may, if you have the time, I'd like to see this space for myself. If my product is going to be shown here, if it's going to be part of our brand, then I need to understand that's in a good position for us to make money off of it.
I will pull out these schematics of the area and the building and basically explain to her that this particular area needs to be demolished, and I give her the general idea of what part of town it's in.
Okay, so roll some for her. South side. And it is near 2 colleges. Prime space for people who are stressed from their finals and whatnot to have a nice drink and relax. They don't have to walk all the way up here, spending hard-earned gil. Jesus, I've been playing too much.
Oh no!
Oh no! Spending hard-earned gold, traversing instead of spending it on our wine, so they can just go to the auxiliary point.
You do then cut down, as I had realized. I've been walking around and getting about this town mostly on foot, which does take quite some time, along with the fact that otherwise you are having to pay for every trip. People who are coming up here, not to say that they wouldn't for your establishment, but those that already are in tight of coin and would like a drink or something to take the edge off, wouldn't already have to be spending from their purse just to get here.
If I would be most interested in this kind of collaboration, and at the very least, having another branch available in a more populated area, especially one with our name on it, would be more beneficial to getting our brand across. Yes. Let's see what we can do about this. Of course, there will be more paperwork to be written out for rights and brand deals and all that, but we can handle those while we investigate this new location.
I will, of course, be sure to inform the diamond of which establishment I have talked to, in case he needs to come by and discuss any particulars. I'm sure he would be happy to come and discuss further after you've been able to survey.
Oh, of course.
I will then shake the fuck out of her hand.
Yeah, she shakes the fuck out of it.
And with that, I will just let her know that we are currently stationed in and about town, but feel free to, of course, send somebody down. I give her a brief description of where the building is located. And, of course, do let her know that she has my guarantee. I'll send somebody once the plans have been finalized with Gregorio.
Okay.
Now I go back to the building.
Okay.
actually probably closer to sundown than the rest of them.
We'll say, we'll get. Let's see. Does Les Lawrence have anything he wants to do for sundown, or is he just?
No, he probably took the scenic route around, looked around, but made his way there.
Okay. So pretty close to sundown is whenever you all meet up. As Lesty and Aurelia, you approach the building, you see Reggie and Seville sitting down on like the stoop area of this burnt down building with a tall, elvish man who's just kind of sitting there, kind of relaxing.
On approach, Lestaborns would look at the pair and give a little version of his own smile. Do we have a new member of the Locomotivators?
This is the inspector.
Oh, right. I was the one who had requested you.
Oh, so you're the one I get these to report to then. And he will
Yes, please.
reach into his notebook and he will just rip out a piece and hand over to you.
And Lestaborns will take that piece and immediately hand it over to Aurelia.
Okay.
As I show up.
Yep. According to the notes on, he's written down, to get proper vegetation here for a park, and to make it, non-invasive species, stuff like that, good enough cover from sun, all that, he would say it would cost about 750 gold to get it properly spaced out.
Okay, so we're looking at about just under. We're looking at about two crowns and some change.
So a little under half of what we said, which is good. Drag.
Pretty good.
Thank you for your help, sir. Do you have any comments or recommendations furtherhand?
I would recommend some pesticides. During the summertime, the bugs will come out in full force, and if this place is behind to be a park, there will be problems with bugs, like big bugs.
Large bugs. Okay, thank you. That will be something we must make note of, it sounds.
Alright, have a good day, guys.
You as well.
He turns into a bird and just flies off.
What the fuck?
I wanted to look to the other two. It's like, I had no
look at
idea
Reggie
he
and
was
just
going
go, well, the dirt makes slightly more sense now.
Did you think the dirt helps them with that, or?
I have no earthly idea.
What was he doing with dirt?
He was eating it.
I believe birds.
Probably checking for the acidity. Probably checking for the acidity. How much soil
makes
that woods live in.
The acidity.
It checks out.
But did you know he was going to turn into a bird?
This is the moment that my character is so confused that he invents the pH scale.
I mean, I didn't know he was going to turn into a bird, but I guess I never really dismissed the possibility or asked him about it.
The birds would look to Aurelia at that point.
This gives
you have your numbers.
I do. The only thing I'm missing is basically how much they want me, but they seem to want to at least send.
Yes. There is one more thing you're missing, because our good friend Father Seville here neglected to inform you guys this morning.
Okay.
Yes.
If you would please follow me to the basement.
I will follow him to the basement.
These vehicles, do they seem familiar to you?
They seem familiar to us.
Oh yeah, they're not the vehicles per se; they're just the engine pieces. But they are. They're lacking the makeshift wood as the platforms, and they're more intact than the exploded ones. But these do look very similar to the engines used by the kobold machines that have attacked you guys.
As if he were like a bloodhound, the Lestaborns would almost immediately walk to the engines, like poking and prodding at them. If he could, he'd be like sniffing at it, but like just looking it up and down, almost a bit I wouldn't say panicked, but like it's like astonished to see them here.
Leslie, could you do me a favor?
Yes.
How, and I hate to say this, unless you two have checked, I looked to Seville and Reginald, about how these work.
What do you mean?
Do we have any idea about how these engines function?
Nope.
Nope.
I do not, but I believe we are in a great city to figure out how they do.
Agreed.
Afraid. No, never
But
mind.
why are they here?
Well, there are two main possibilities. One, the factory was previously manufacturing these engines and they somehow survived the fire. Or two, the kobolds have been using this to store pieces of their tinkerings.
Both would be equally bad, I feel.
Well, the third option, of course, is that these engines were likely here as a part of whatever to help with whatever manufacturing was happening, and we are dealing with the fact that maybe the kobolds are stealing from the people who created these here in the city.
Maybe when the diamond returns, we could ask him.
Correct.
To the previous.
And any merchants we happen across, at least those that deal with this type of mechanics.
He would certainly know. I believe he would certainly know if they were here prior.
In my inspections and dustings and stuff, do I find any marking symbols or anything like that?
Give me a investigation check.
I'm an investigator. 18.
An 18. Looking over all these engines, which there's probably about 9 or 10 of them. They're not massive engines, but they are pretty bulky. Scanning across each of these, they all seem to be pretty similarly made. You don't notice anything damaged. You don't notice anything like a signature or like a seal of approval or anything like that. These all just seem like they're like these things need to be made. I will tell you something because you got 18 investigation. They seem to be more casings. There doesn't seem to be any kind of like the piece which would you know how engines would. Oh, my voice cracked. Oh my god.
That was so cool. How's puberty?
Shut up.
Going good.
Oh. All right.
Alright.
So yeah, sorry. But these are you've seen engines before, and this doesn't seem to have that core piece. From what you remember on the train, the back end of it, you saw like a glow coming from the back end of it, what's like a viewport almost, like it's like an excess port. On these, where the excess port would be, there doesn't seem to be anything inside. So these things are like a gas tank without any fuel in it. They're not primed, ready to go, but they are built engines. They're not active though.
To my knowledge, they do not seem damaged, but I am not an expert on engines. Either way, they are mixing whatever they used as fuel that we have seen them with them. He peek his head up to look at the others. It is worrisome if we learn that the diamond knew they were here as well. I hope it is not that. I've been thinking of a fourth option.
Well, there are multiple possibilities for why these may be here. I have resisted the urge to send word to the city guard just so we can explore those options before causing undue ruckus and also potentially delaying our timeline. But I believe it might be in order to get a better observation of, or better foundation of knowledge for what was going on in here before we make any major decisions relating to what to do here.
Aurelia is leading our investigation now as well, or I wouldn't say an investigation, our mission. So, final call, I feel we should leave for her as well. I agree,
Leslie.
Yes.
I agree with your agreement.
Well, first of all, the only time frame we have is 24 hours to present a plan. We don't have to have the place built, nor will we told how long it will need to take to make it. We merely must present a plan that the Diamond believes is suitable for his objective. Low cost and helpful to people. After going over all of your all's notes, I've come to the conclusion that, and in a way that still benefits and generates for this community as well as the greater business of the city, to make a small ancillary winery on top of this particular structure but in clearing out the rest of the area, as suggested by several, for a park, a small community center, which was already, and I just kind of like go over the costs, we're already just under half of what we were given to use. That said, this does raise a couple of questions, as you all have surmised, and I would certainly like to get the Diamond's opinion on this, as I see if the kobolds are behind any sort of theft, use, storage, or anything to do with these machines. Obviously, then we want to get to the bottom of it, and so clearly a part of extending our help to the Diamond. And if not, and there is no immediate threat that we can discover, this potentially gives us a myriad of ways to put these to use for our future endeavor. So I say, at the very least, we check with the Diamond about the history of the building, how much he does know about it once we present the plan, and ask him about these machines. If we just find out that he was aware of them prior to giving us the mission or knows exactly why they're here, wonderful. We have the opportunity to potentially procure and use them as part of our goals here. But if he is not aware, and this comes as news to him, we have more to investigate with our kobold friends. But I do definitely see the immediate concern that, given our history with them, we would raise regarding these machines. I just am curious as to whether or not they were stolen and procured, or if they're being stored here by our enemies.
I believe it is too early to know.
Correct.
We must get all the information.
Yes.
Luckily, construction will ultimately be on the city and the Diamond, assuming this trial is actually resulting in him going along with our plan and not just I've had a plan all along, and I just wanted to see what you all came up with and had a better one, or
That is
whatever
a
it is
distinct
I do.
possibility, given his disposition.
Right. I'm fully aware that we may just be giving him an idea, and he's either planning to absolutely go with it, or there's already a purpose for the place. Which, again, has me curious as to how much about the building he himself knows, but seeing his overall knowledge of the entire city, I would be more shocked to find out that he knew little of it. So, we have the rest of the evening, and then I believe we are to meet back with him 24 hours, right? So, we actually probably do need to go meet up with him soon for our final total.
DM, did he say if he was going to meet us here or if we were going back into?
He's
Yeah,
gonna meet you
we're
guys
going
to
here.
meet him.
He's going to meet us here? Perfect. Then we'll chill the hell out. And I do know, as part of my plan, I wasn't given any sort of estimate from the winery, correct?
No, because it'd be based on volume, which they have to get back to you on, versus like it's supposed to it'll be hammered out later. So there's no estimate for that, but it's something you can still bring into the plan as a variable.
Yes.
That but
Yeah, I basically will write down the grand plan, but of course, if we're going to partner with local businesses, they'll need to do their own investigation. That can't be done within 24 hours.
Right.
But of course, if there is no winery, we still have a park and small community center.
Right. Okay.
So we chill.
You don't check for
Miss Bloodstone, if you have a free moment, I would like to have a conversation with you.
Of course, seeing as there's nowhere else I can go, and the Diamond is to be here imminently. And I guess I walk off to a separate area with him.
Yeah, once we get to a separate area, Reggie is immediately going to prostrate himself and go, I believe I owe you a sincere apology, Miss Bloodstone. I've acted like an ass and potentially sabotaged your chance to show off as a leader.
You have done both. But My brother did insist, or my uncle did insist, that I bring others along. And there is no leader that does work without people to lead. And to immediately write off your incredibly talented work, and I pull out his designs, would be a weakness in the leader I'd prefer not to have. So I apologize to you for the outburst, though I would at least in the future, if it is Bloodstone dealings, let me take the lead.
I understand, Miss Bloodstone, and I can promise you it will not happen again. I do want to add really quickly that I think you are a fine leader.
That is...
You took my half-baked solution and crafted it into a much more profound answer than I could have. And that is the true mark of a leader. Taking the opinions and the estimations and ideas of those who serve under them and bringing them to a form they could not be on their own. And I believe you excelled at that yesterday and again today.
I cut him off before he's allowed to cut much more of a promo on me, and I hug him, and then give him a hearty slap on the back. Don't expect many of those, but thank you.
I will pretend it never happened, Miss Bloodstone.
You just she looks away, but she brings her fingers up to her eyes really quick. Yes, well, I needed to hear that. Thank you, and I apologize for downplaying your contributions to our endeavor.
Oh, please, you owe no apology to me. I could have handled that situation much better than I did.
Well, we might have gotten a B- on our initial answer, but I suspect we placed the second. I don't see how he's going to find fault in our reasoning or plan, as it is become a grand sum of our, all of our parts, so... We'll see. Thank you. It means a lot.
You're not very good at hugs.
No, I'm not. I don't give them out who have received many. And I leave him with that and walk back to the group.
Reggie will follow back to the group.
It's around this time that you see a very fine carriage roll up. One you're very familiar with. This is the one that the diamond showed up in. As he exits, as he steps out, he takes a big drink from a chalice and just hands out to someone nearby.
A salad chalice.
Well then, Locomotivators. It is at dusk, and I ask thee, what have you got for me?
I show him our plans that I have written the cost for, and added a variable of business with a winery from the Gilded Grove, and I will kind of give him the same explanation I gave to sell to the winery. Basically the idea that this serves a community that works seemingly day and night. And to get around the place, there is not to dunk on the plans here of transportation, means that there's very little time for one to enjoy themselves outside of their work here in Traders Reach, especially on the southeast end. We're located between two major campuses and a huge family business-based community down here. The simple idea and the base idea is a park, obviously, for people, families, and the like to come, relax, read, and de-stress that they don't have to go climbing up all the way till the Gilded Grove to do. The other hand, should business play out, with the winery of which I've written the name down of, then they would also supply to have some of their stock and one or two workers hired here to serve drinks and continue a inner working with the working class area of Traders Reach alongside clearly one of the more proud and outstanding aspects of the city, so that we are continuing to further the local economy, as well as aiding the people here of Trader's Reach and saving on a bit of coin in doing so. Demolishing the building is much cheaper than trying to recreate it and fix it back up. And ultimately, I think we'll do a lot greater, and it kind of combines many of the facets of the entirety of the city.
I see. Oh, it's a very
On that, we did have one thing we wanted to show you that may or may not be related to the plan at all.
Of course. What is going on?
If you would, and I will motion for him to follow me and take him down to the basement.
He follows you down to the basement. When he sees the engines, he just goes, "Whoa, okay. This is, what is this?"
No. Clearly by your reaction, you're not entirely sure about what these are. They clearly weren't here before with whatever...
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I insight check the reaction? I was planning to say it beforehand. Wasn't sure if you were...
Yep, that's how you can inside check.
I want to see if it's true surprise. 22.
He is
Oh shit.
very much small amount trying to hide a smile. Like, he's like, "Oh no, what's all this?"
Smile.
Yeah.
Like his word isn't trusted kind of thing, or
I think what Chris is getting at is he's faking to not know what's here and maybe hoping we noticed.
Something like that. He's like, "Okay, cool, they told me."
oh, it's all in. Either way, he keeps it to himself.
Yeah, I'm planning to tell him everything. Now, these could have potentially been a part of the business that was here before. But I will say at the very least, we have as members of the it's Wayfarer, right? Not Wayfinder, Wayfarer. Wayfarers Guild have been doing a bit of work while on the way here, as well as upon arrival. We've noticed a handful of roguish kobolds, if you will, that are using a similar form of machinery.
Oh, really? Well, that,
So,
huh.
we were curious then, and trying to discover if these were here before, being stored here by them, which I would imagine that wouldn't have gone unnoticed, or some were stolen in the night. However, if they are something we can safely prove can be used here, I think we could be adding maybe, depending on how these function, which I'm not going to call myself an engineer, but seeing what they have been able to power, we could potentially be using a source of energy to provide more to this community, whether it's in the form of small attractions, lighting, or even a way to enhance the entire sort of bar aspect of the place and have sort of draft going on. But those are just me spitballing ideas depending on what becomes of what these are.
So speaking of what these are, you've seen these? So these are what? Some sort of like engine, some sort of power source?
Certainly a power source. We've seen them used primarily in Cobalt Ransack created vehicles, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're capable of other things.
Have you warned the guard already about this?
We have. They are, at the very least, aware of a ransacking of the farms.
But I mean about these. He motions to the engines here.
No, not yet.
Hmm.
We wanted to confirm whether or not you were aware of if these were created here or not.
So, the plan is you're going to figure out what these are used for, and then if you can repurpose them for the city. Is that what I'm trying to understand here?
if possible.
He walks over to one of the engines, and then he just turns around and just starts clapping. Well done. So, as far as the plan goes for the park and winery, A minus. Could do a little better, but the cost for wine will go up, but people will have wine here, which is good. But the big point is that you all confronted me about these engines. Now, don't worry. I put them here. No.
I had a hunch.
Well, I had these moved here after we ran inside the kobold camp that was outside the city. But I decided to keep them here as a kind of a prop. They've all been diffused. There is no engine inside these anymore. At least nothing that could act as an engine. They're just little husks. But the plan to reutilize them for the benefit of Tiershove, I do applaud. That is good. Using what you have at your disposal. And you are willing to not tell the guard about this. Instead, confronting me about it to get my purview on it, and maybe figure out if I had something to do with it. And especially bring me down here into this dark basement where nobody could see what would happen. Well done. I would say
Almost
for
think of all options.
for this part,
We did.
I would say
I was going to say, we did in the very event have a very trusty and noble guard here who decided on his own volition to stay the night, just in case. And I look over to Reginald.
Sees the bags under his eyes, like, I do see. Well, don't worry, I knew I had and he points to back up to the base entrance where you see that shadowy guard figure from...
Shadowy man has followed.
He's just hanging up there, just watching you all. You would keep an eye on this place as well, just in case of any other ne'er-do-wells came by. But I would say for this part of the trial, why not? Gold star, A+. Could not have done better.
Oh, wonderful then.
Which will now bring us to... You completed the 2 trials I had, and now I have a question. I believe a change of venue is better. Come back with me up to Sovereignty. We're going to have a nice drink. And I have a small gift I want to give to you for the amazing plan you have built. It's not easy coming up with a plan like this on the fly, especially in 24 hours. So I applaud your resourcefulness. I wish to give you a gift. But, again, Sovereignty. Out of the dark, dank basement.
Yes, of course. Not quite the place we want to be spending hurrah in.
No. Well, no time for hurrahs just yet. There's still a question to be asked.
Of course. Well, if you're not going to give a hurrah, we'd probably be giving one for the gold star.
Enjoy it. You earned it.
All right. To Sovereignty.
All right. He will take you via his carriage back up to Sovereignty, back to his manor. And he'll bring you to the same study you came into before when you did the first trial.
Awesome.
And he will once again reach underneath the desk, pull out fine whiskey, pour. He gives whiskey to. Well, I guess whoever wants whiskey, he can have whiskey. Otherwise, they'll get drinks from another place. We'll take a moment, but regardless, you have drinks if you want them.
I take the second one on behalf of Lestamore.
All right, that works.
Reginald will take the whiskey and move to down it, and then catch himself and stop and sip the whiskey instead.
There's water for me.
He'll supply water. He'll supply whiskey, wine, whatever you want. Alright. First things first. Claps, and a servant comes in with a small box. It's just a really nice box. Not wood, just like a paper box. First of all, a gift, a token of my appreciation for you putting up with my nonsense, and of course coming up with a fine plan for this park. We'll have to come up with a name for it, but park, winery, outdoor music, trade stores. Oh, sorry, I'm getting caught up at my work. Winery, park. We'll get on that. We'll get in touch with this winery you were talking about, and see about getting the paperwork written up to facilitate a trade.
Yes, of course.
He sets the box down on the table in front of him, and he motions to you all to open the box.
I motion to the three of them to open the box.
What?
I motion to Lestaborns and
I
Settle
opened the
to
box.
I opened the damn box.
Yeah. Why did Aurelia open it?
Fuckers.
Inside, you
I opened
find
whatever's in.
you find some small parcels. There are two of these small like tied up bags. There is a long cylindrical device. Looks like there's like a lid at the top. There is a small box that inside has a inlaid little small like stone token, looks like, with etchings on it. And then a large silvery gray like fur bag.
Sorry, there's a fur bag,
There's
a stone with etchings, and what else?
a
Box with
cylindrical
stone etchings in it.
a box with a small stone token with etchings. A
That's always
long cylindrical like container with a lid on the top. And two small bags, like they look just like little small cloth bags. Like they're like attached to your satchel.
Old assortment of gifts, if you don't mind us asking what they are.
Ah, of course. Well, the two small bags, those are full of jelly beans. They have little small magical effects. They're just funny little jelly beans. The long little cylinder there is a bottle of endless coffee. So I know you guys are traveling a lot, so enjoy that. Free coffee forever. You're going to drink it out of the cup
I
there.
immediately
So,
uncork it, start drinking.
it is warm and has a small peppermint taste to it.
Ooh.
I give it to Reggie.
I immediately start drinking.
It's delicious. The small token there is a qual feather token. It will turn into a tree if you plant it. So if you need cover or if you just want to just plant a tree somewhere, you can. The last one is something I'm very fond of, is a bag of tricks. You pull a small animal out of it. So if you need
Small.
yeah,
Living animal.
living animal. Could be, sometimes it's a dog, it could be a crow. I'm not sure what comes out of it, honestly. But
Oh, this
Where's
is how
this-
we get the Sarhiri crossover.
Solid.
Well, if
Well-
no one is laying claim to the tree, I suppose that would suit my skill set.
Quite.
I'll help myself to one of these bags.
One of the bags of jelly beans.
Yes.
Do you eat? Well, I guess you would.
He will try to eat a jelly bean, I guess. Just almost as if to figure out if he even can.
Sure.
In conjunction to Aurelia's question.
give me one moment here. I gotta grab a little small thing from my notebook.
He's got to grab some real life jelly beans. Real quick.
He's literally he's done to me that he's put way too much thought into the red.
It's a deck of cards.
The random jelly beans. Ha ha.
Now you're a cat.
Let's see. I need you to roll me a d12.
Roll 1d. A 5.
So as you chew on this, and you have a sense of taste. It's just not as pronounced, perhaps. And it tastes. There's like a fruity flavor. Then it becomes a bit sour, and then you're like feel this overwhelming urge, and you just vomit oil, but it's rainbow colored.
Oh gosh. We should.
Also, you take a 1d4 poison damage.
Dude.
I slap him on the back.
Alright, take 2 points of poison damage.
Maybe I cannot eat jelly beans. I do not know if that was an effect of them. I did not know I had rainbows inside me.
I'm going to get that was an effect of the jelly beans, and I
I hope so.
scooch away from him.
I don't
Well, there
think
you
we
go.
did
So
see,
I'm going to take this, and I take the one that will apparently spawn an animal, the bag of tricks.
Sure. Let me grab that real quick. Where is it?
Is
Here
it the bed that I don't that the jelly bean was not that bad tasting at first.
All right.
It was almost fruity.
You pull out a small, looks like almost like a hairball almost.
Bruh.
Roll me a d8.
One.
Let's see here.
What is my Pokemon evolve into?
Do you throw it on the ground or you just like hold it in your hand?
I hold it in my hand.
The fur is a small like grayish blue, and it just kind of like unfurls, and you have a weasel in your hand.
Nice.
And it just hangs on your arm and just kind of just wraps around it.
Can you give me a good weasel noise?
I don't know what weasels sound like.
They like.
If you said something, I didn't hear it. So.
It didn't come through. That's a weasel noise.
No.
They're famously mute animals.
You see my face just like I'm trying to hide it, but like clearly my eyes have widened and I've got like the little sparkles and I was like, oh my god. And I like sit there for a minute, just like take a finger and start like stroking the top of its head while it's like hanging on my arm.
I will wait to test this out. I feel like it's best to not do this one indoors.
I would
lean
imagine not.
I lean to
apologize
Reggie and
for your
whisper
form.
emergency rations.
Wow.
You did what?
A note on that one there. It has to be placed outside, and on top of that, it is one-time use.
Ah.
Do you know if this
That's
is
so
a magic? Do you know if this is a magical creature? Or...
No, I just think it's a random weasel.
Do you know? Are you stuck with the weasel now? The moral implications of you abandoning it are quite heavy.
That's not something I need to do right now.
I mean, I suppose you could just put it back in the bag.
Is that to death, though?
Into the sack it goes.
It's best not to think about that, Leslie.
I will not put the bag. I will just hang the bag on like my belt loop. And
You now have a weasel.
I do have a pet weasel.
What will you name it, Aurelia?
I will think about the name another time. And I have not looked up at any of you all. I have just been sitting there like one finger stroking its head and like just locking eyes with it the entire time.
It is being very affectionate. It views you as a friend.
Oh,
yeah.
Best boy! I love this thing already.
Now then, this is actually quite a perfect animal for her, which is funny. Now then, with the gifts out of the way, what is your next question?
Well, the next question is not an easy one, and I will trust, since you are kings of discretion, that should you, for whatever reason, deign to not take the request I have for you all, that you will keep it to yourselves.
You have the Bloodstone Matron's word that this will not leave this room, or this particular company. Should we decline?
Looks to the rest of you all, keeping a trained eye.
As long as it isn't illegal, you have my word.
Technically not illegal, just dangerous.
If it is morally okay, then I guess you have my word then too.
So,
You have my word.
Know what you wrote.
well then, I guess I'll get right into it. There is a problem that Tearstrove is facing. And unfortunately, it's a problem that Tearstrove cannot handle at the moment. I need people who are outside the system to handle it for me. What I'm about to ask of you is something that I would not ask many. There is, as many know, there's always a underbelly to such big cities like this one. Crime, thievery, and whatnot. Well, we have our own thieving group over here in Tearstrove. You may have encountered them or heard of them. The Golden Hand.
I perk up.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought it was the Gilded Hand.
he says Golden Hand.
Oh, okay.
Now, Golden Hand has been around about as long as I have. And while they have intervened on businesses, they have never gone beyond a certain threshold. We should say they maintained a symbiosis with the city. Until recently. A few weeks back, a splinter was formed, and part of the Golden Hand had split off from the main source to become its own entity. It calls itself the Tarnished Grasp. They are...
different from the Tarnished Glove.
I was saying glove, I meant grasp. They are the Tarnished Grasp, not the glove.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry.
So all right. So you're making a distinction that he called them Golden Hand, but we've heard Gilded Hand. But this is, you meant Tarnished Grasp. If you had,
I think he's always said tarnished grasp. I haven't heard glove before.
I apologize that Tarnished Glove, I mean Tarnished Grasp.
Yeah. I had it written down. I think I had asked you it out of the session one day because I was making some notes and tried to update them. So, got it. All right, cool.
So, we have been trying to keep tabs on them to try and see what they are up to, and we feel that they are planning some sort of, well, for lack of a better term, an attack on Tierstrove. Now, funny enough, we do believe that this is in concert with the kobolds. Seems though every time they've made a move, whether it be on the outskirts or in Avare, the kobolds have been attacking in turn, keeping us distracted, not allowing us a moment to rest. I believe they're going to try to strike us when a kobold attack comes here. Attack on both fronts. May even come after us, the sovereignty. So we need to nip it in the bud, as they say. So I come to you all. Well, technically I came to Arendos, but he recommended you. So now I'm going to ask you. We have reason to believe that they are in Port Avare. They have established a base there. And with proper intel, and he looks over to the corner where the shadowed figure is, they are still there now. What I would ask of you is you travel to Port Avare, infiltrate this so-called base, capture their leader, and bring him back here alive.
Westerborns will look to Aurelia to get her attention briefly, but mostly to share eye contact.
I've been, I glanced at you. I've been staring at him.
I look at Leste mention.
Regardless, this is probably one of the best leads we've found in a while.
Yes, this works very well with us. Aurelia, please. You have both might and Sevel's backing if you choose to take this.
I certainly plan to, but I would like to ask one particular question now that this has been offered to us. I assume this information came from I'm sorry, what was the name of the guy who reference was asking this?
What?
Arendelle, whatever it was. What was the guy's
Your
name?
uncle?
Yeah. He was originally going to ask Arendos to do this.
Okay,
but now
Arendos,
he's-
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
If I may,
You may.
since this was originally a plan for the Bloodstones, and now we are getting my little posse here involved, what originally drew you to our name?
Not necessarily your name, but Arendos. He's a man who helped me once or twice. I've helped him a few times as well. I figured if there was one to trust, it would be him. And when he came to me discussing creating ties between the Diamond and Crowncroft, coming from him, I was considering it. But then he was called away. And, but spoke of you taking his spot. And I trust Arandos, so if he trusts you, I trust you.
Well, then, I will not disappoint. We will certainly take you up on this task.
Perfect. Well, see. Well then, all that's left is traversal. Time is of the essence, so, have you ever flown before?
Have we what?
Flown. Balloon, airship.
I've jumped very high.
Not quite the same.
Gonna
Never
ask
even
if I've done
considered
this
it.
before as a member of our family ever.
You've probably been on the airship. Probably like one of those like luxury ones. Like more like it never actually flew. It just kind of stayed in port and you partied on it probably.
But I've been. I was gonna
Kind of
say.
like,
I thought. Yeah, I can say that I have more for pleasure and leisure. Yes.
Ah. Well, time is of the essence. Avare would be about a week's travel away, so we're going to cut that down to about a day or so, day and a half travel via airship, just to make things a bit easier on you all.
Hey, wait a minute. When is my brother coming into town?
About 2 days.
Okay. He said, how long? 3 days to get there on an airship?
1.5 days via airship. Of course,
1.5 days.
it'd be 3 days if round trip, if everything goes well.
I would like to ask, then, this will obviously have us away, and time is of the essence. I have another member of my family who is supposed to be arriving in town in about a day and a half's time. Can I have somebody from you potentially meet him and make sure he is given proper lodgings until I return?
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's actually under my charge.
Oh. And he has a look on his face like, no, I understand. Of course. I'll have him put up in proper quarters.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And I will give him my brother's name.
Which is, according to the notes. Valis.
I have to get Valis. Yeah, I have to get down all my family's names again. That was something I forgot to do. Valis, yes.
Oh, with a V, okay.
Valis.
You think you said phallus?
I did. I was so
That's kind of
confused.
funny.
I'm sorry. I was like, what? Why would
Valis.
you name him that?
Valis the Phallus.
Valis. Good name.
That'd be terrible name. Perfect.
The Varbuck Green Goblin mask is really fighting with me.
Yeah, so then, just to be on the lookout for Valis Bloodstone, and do let him know that that I will hopefully return in roughly 3 days from today.
Perfect. Well, I would like to ask if you all are looking to leave, like, right now, or if you need to take the bed for the moment, because I do understand that Mr. Van Buren is a little lost for sleep.
I think a good rest would be. I think a good rest and potentially the opportunity to convene before our flight would be fantastic. Yes.
Very well. I will have my carriage take you back to the Rabbit's Foot Inn to have you take your rest. Just I will come by, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning to pick you up and take you to the docks.
Perfect. And we will make it on our way.
Very well. Welcome, Locomotivators, to a real quest.
Yes. Thank you very much. We are
Pretty good line.
quite eager to fulfill it for you.
Thank
And
you for
we-
the opportunity.
Thank you for the amazing floor plan. We'll see about getting that set up. It'll probably take a while before it's fully outlaid, but when it's done, we'll have to come by for some wine.
Yes.
Thank you for the brilliant whiskey. And I'm gonna just down the rest of my cup in one swig.
It's good stuff. Have you ever find yourself in Haysop? Make sure to get him a bottle of that. It's rare, it's expensive, but fuck, is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
It sure seems so.
Love it.
All right, and he will escort you to the door to the carriage, and then see you off as you travel back through Gilded Grove to Merchant's Quarter, back to your inn. Where you
When we're in the carriage,
Yeah.
I just want to quickly go to the group and go, all right, so I'm sure it's on everybody's mind, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Yes, I did find the most correct tip in seeing that they were in Port Devar. Does that make me the best investigator of the group? Who's to say?
What?
I told you that when we first arrived here. I told you they were in Port Devar 3 weeks ago.
Guess you did.
Huh. So you did.
Wes Thorns keeps the mirror vision to himself.
So, you know, next time, maybe I'll grace you with my investigation genius.
Well, at least it seems like the old Reggie is back.
Side-eyeing him partially while he's saying this.
I know I can tell you guys are all stunned by the quality of my information and my skills.
I am.
Can always count on you, Leslie.
Apparently, I can count on you as well.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to pass out in this carriage until we get there.
I think that would be a fantastic plan, yes.
All right, passes out.
And he's
We
just
go back
going
to
to pull
the
his
hotel.
hat down and go to sleep.
Or tavern, not hotel.
To your inn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a few minutes drive, and then you eventually reach the inn. You disembark and can do with what you will with the remaining time. It's now nighttime. Lights are up. Shops are still open for the moment, but it's getting close to closing time for a lot of these places.
Closing time. Westbourne's would probably just sit in the lobby per usual, see if anyone needs anything. If not, he'll read the night away.
I will probably just go to sleep. And actually, I will write a note that I will make sure to send to the matron in the morning to let her know that I have secured an alliance with Gregorio the Diamond, and just inform her of our current mission, and then let her know that this was done as a team effort for the request of my uncle.
Okay.
Before Aurelia, you can go upstairs to go to sleep. Miss Bloodstone, I do believe celebratory drinks are in order.
Weren't you going to sleep?
He slept in the carriage on the way back.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
I will take a small one to go, but I'd rather not get too wasted like last night. I had a bit of a nap. I will have my one drink, and I will spend one drink with the group, but very much will probably make my exit soon, like earlier than the rest.
I will take my one drink, and then when they ask for the payment, I will look to Seville.
I glare at him.
This was our agreement.
You two had an agreement.
I walk over to pay.
What kind of drinks are you guys getting?
I get another whiskey.
Wine.
Water.
So whiskey, a wine, a water.
Actually, wait.
A sparkling water. Gotta treat myself tonight. Yeah.
Lesnar is just confirmed straight edge. Anything for you, Seville?
Yeah, I'll just have a whiskey like Reggie here.
We'll say, we'll say 2 gold pieces for all of them.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. And boink, boink, boink. We're good.
Several returns with the drinks, unless Warren takes a hold of his water. He'd look up to him and with a little turning the gears of his smile. Several, as thanks for the drink. You should try one of these. It was quite odd, but quite fun either way. And he'd offer, open up like the little bag of jelly beans.
I'm gonna stare at you while you're handing those.
You know what? I will before he can divorce. As Sevil's just staring, I will actually give it to this, and I will grab one.
All right.
Yes.
I just like kind of, I like come out just peripheral and just.
All right. Aurelia, roll me a D12. Yeah, D12.
7.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing observable happens.
Does it taste good?
It's like a green apple.
I'd like to Arcana check this thing. Actually, no, I'd like to medicine check.
Just the overall, all the jelly beans in the bag, which now there are 9 beans left.
I would like to medicine check them, yes.
Sure, roll me a medicine check.
Always Aurelia, how do you feel?
Bitch.
Perfectly fine.
I mean,
It sat on 17 for a second.
I mean, these beans are, they're jelly. They're candy. I mean,
They're jelly.
I narrow my eyes at Lesty and eat one.
It must have had the bad reaction to them earlier.
Alright, roll me a
Maybe
D12.
Oh.
8. Nothing happens. Nothing that you're aware of.
Maybe I just can't eat jelly beans. These might be better in someone else's pocket as a snack. And he'd like leave them on the table a bit disheartened.
I think it's best they stay in the hands of someone who won't eat them all the time.
Would you like one, Reggie?
I would not.
Not the bean man. And he'd like take them back and like strap them to his pouch.
So as you're all are sitting here at this little table, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Circular table.
Yeah, there's a small like little plant in the center, and Seville, for a moment as you look at it, you feel like it's just looking at you.
Well, I guess with that, friends, it's time.
What seems like it's looking at me?
Little sunflower on the table you guys are sitting at.
At the middle, yeah.
Can I Arcana check it? Or nature?
Sure, give me Arcana or Nature. As you look this flower over, it just seems like a regular flower. The fuck are you looking at?
Did the flower just say that to me?
It did.
Fucking beans.
Are you okay, Seville?
I'm just gonna, like, look down at my drink, look at the flower, and look at you. Hang on, I think the flowers are talking to me.
I do not understand. What do you mean the flowers are speaking with you?
I think he had too much whiskey, Lesty.
I'm going to pick the flower up and walk off with it.
Like the whole pot itself, or just the flower?
Yes, I am picking up the whole pot.
Get your fucking hands off of me.
Who the fuck are you to talk to me like that?
Who the fuck are you to talk to me like that? You just see someone walking away, just cursing at this fucking flower.
Well, we all settled.
I did not take him for a lightweight.
I'm going to take the rest of my wine upstairs. I will
Either
see
way,
you
be
all in the
careful,
morning.
Aradia. If it
I
does have
will
unintended
be
effects.
sure to do so.
Hello, Reggie. I wish you the best of your night as well. Enjoy your roommate's arguments with the plant.
I might need more than one glass of whiskey to sleep through the night. But we'll see.
With
Good
that,
night,
Lester
Lassie.
Bournes would probably, just hang until he's done drinking and then go have a seat elsewhere to do his sentry mode.
Reggie's just gonna down his drink and then climb into bed.
Okay. Civil, are you gonna continue talking to this flower?
Yes.
As you continuously argue with this flower, a few minutes pass, and all of a sudden the flower goes silent.
Mm-hmm.
I finish my drink and go to bed.
Everybody's going to bed, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Okay.
Had enough of this.
You got 2 bags of those, too.
I have 2 bags of the jelly beans?
There's 2 bags of jelly beans, yeah.
Oh, see, I thought 1 bag was the pet one. Oh, that's even better. I have so many jelly beans.
Yeah, you have as of right now, let's see, there's 8 in that 1 bag, and there's 11. You have 19 beans.
I wish Lester Bournes was open to torture, because then we could use these beans.
Not really torture if possibly nothing happens. We just feed them.
Well, nothing observable happened.
We don't even torture them. We literally hey, hold on, wait a minute. Lester Bournes can't come to the idea that it's torture. He's seen one guy act incredibly drunk. One of his friends had nothing happen to him, and he just assumes he can't eat jelly beans.
Yeah.
So prior to an interrogation, we could offer somebody a jelly bean as a treat.
Like one of the
That's
jelly
true.
beans just turns someone into a Cronenberg style fucking body horror amalgam of.
Do you think I would give you guys 22 different chances to turn someone into a Cronenberg? Do you guys think I really would do
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, yes.
Well, I regret not being able to do it now.
Do you mind if we do our break right there, by the way, since it's the end
Yeah,
of the...
absolutely. This is the perfect time to take a small break. Pee break, get a drink, get a snack, whatever you need to. We'll be back in...
Do my long rest.
We'll be back. Yeah, go ahead and your long rest if you haven't already. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we can say like 7:25 latest.
Okay, so yeah, about 10 minutes, and we'll continue. And this will be able to...
We also level up, right?
So you're saying 2
No.
levels.
3. Rex DM.
You guys do not level.
Everyone hit level 20.
All right, break. And we're back. So, last we left off with you all, you had finished the second trial, and by means of coming up with a pretty solid plan for turning into a park/winery area, and also disclosing the multitude of kobold engines that were down in the basement, which impressed the Diamond, as that was a hidden part of the test. He then takes you back to Sovereignty, in which he entrusts you with a mission to travel to Portovare, to infiltrate the base of operations for this Tarnished Grass, the Splinter Cell of the Golden Hand, apprehend the leader, and bring him back to Tierstrove alive.
Mm-hmm.
You all return to the Rabbit's Foot Inn to have a long rest in preparation for your journey, which will be tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. He'll be coming by to pick you up. So there'll be a little small spot in the morning for you to handle any errands before heading out. You all waken to the next morning. We'll say probably like 7 o'clock. Aurelio, one point of note. You wake up, your weasel's not there.
Oh. I was about to ask, because I was going to try and stay the night and come up with a name, but I wake up and the weasel is not there. I checked the bag.
Let me see here. The bag kind of just darkens, and you can't really see anything inside the bag.
I do the same thing I did, which is reach inside and try to pull out the weasel.
You pull out a small, fluffy little ball, like a hairball.
A hairball.
That's what it's. That's
do
what
I
it says.
have to roll again?
Yes, you do. Roll me a d8.
I can't get attached to this pet.
Do you keep it in your hand, or do you put it on the floor? I'm just curious.
I'm in my bed. I put it in my lap.
Laying on top of you as it unfurls, everything is a badger.
Oh dear.
As it just kind of lays and looks up at you, not really doing much of anything.
I pet its head.
He responds favorably to it.
Going to have to come up with a name for the multitude of you, but probably a singular name. I'm about to do this for however many combinations of this come out. I'll come up with something. Come along. And I roll out of bed, do my morning prep, let him stay on the bed, or maybe he follows me, I don't know. Or she. I check, is it a he or she?
Roll me a nature check.
Okay.
This matters for the name. I can't fucking tell.
You don't see a dick, so I mean, could be a girl.
Try to get ready, and then I eventually come downstairs with a badger. Instead of, because he's a bit bigger, instead of letting him wrap around my arm, I'm doing the thing where like I hug him, and I've got like his front arms like secured in my arms, and his head's peeking out, and he was just like long catting as I walked down with him.
You're a weasel. It got much larger.
I don't believe that it just stays a weasel. Pretty sure this thing is very much a magical creature. And upon a night's rest, or at least a long night, he returns to the bag. I picked him back up, and now I have a badger.
Do you have a name for the badger?
No, I originally had a name for the weasel, and now I'm going to have to think about one that might fit a multitude of animals. So it may be a bit before I solidify a name.
You should speak with Reggie. He's great with names.
Or have you named a pet animal before, or all of them get turned into a gift?
Who's to say that they don't have names?
Most of them just end up on the mantle, if I'm being honest.
So gifts, got it.
But you know who's really great at coming up with names?
Don't tell me your one friend who is quite a fellow guy and you hate.
Oh, Seville. He did come up with Locomotivators.
I'm still working on changing that.
What's that? Do you have any ideas as alternatives yet?
I have a list. I'm working on it.
I also
Can we
have a
see
list.
this list?
Of what?
Dates.
Oh, Reggie. Oh, a list of what?
Wait, didn't you have a list before? Throw it away and Reggie take it.
He did, and
I think
Rex
so,
was
yeah.
gonna call you out on it. Or not Rex call you out on it, but you know what I mean. he gave you time to plan the names.
A list of names for the group, written by a certain member of a high-ranking Crown Croft family.
And there's staring daggers through him.
It's in a safe place for now.
I look for my list. Realize it's not on me. I would love to see it sometime. Maybe we can share notes.
We could work out a shared custody agreement.
Well, apparently we have enough time for errands today. If anybody needs to do anything before we leave.
Seeing as we are going to have no kobolds, I know originally Sebel had wanted to do a small interrogation, which we may not have time for.
Well, we may.
But we
depending
could go, at the very least, check with the guards and see what they found out about the one we did capture before we leave.
Did you still have questions for that kobold Sybil?
None that I can think of at the moment.
Yes, some may have been answered with time.
I wouldn't mind going by the guards either, though. If not only to see if we can get that cool flute. Maybe they're not doing anything with it.
And wouldn't it be bad to at least just ask about everything? Check on that flute and see if they learned anything different than what we did.
Well, let's just make that stop and then head to the airport. Or
Well, we're going to come back here. They're getting us a carriage to take us to the port. God forbid we walk all the way there again.
walking sounds quite awful, apparently.
We head up to the guard.
All right, you head up to the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wherever they took the kobold.
It'd probably be close to the Wayfarers Guild. It's probably like up here would be the guard station.
Okay.
Walking in, asking about the captured. You could say, are you looking for? Wait, who are you looking to interview, or are you?
We had previously spoken with the guard about an opportunity for the Locomotivators to interview or at least discover what had happened, what was learned about the kobold who we captured and brought back from the farm mission.
Right. Okay.
I want to get the flute that was controlling rats if they're not doing anything with it.
I'll go and tell you, they don't have the flute. They have hand over to the Wayfarers Guild for them to dispatch as needed.
Oh, also, as a test, I put the bag that the creature came in on my back and was like carrying it like a small backpack. I put the badger bag in. I assume the badger is bigger than the bag.
Yeah, it's bigger than the bag.
So when I put it in the bag and it's probably peeking its head out, does it disappear or does it stay in the bag?
Seems like he kind of goes to the bottom of the bag and then he kind of like pokes his head out.
Okay. Alright. I'm just testing the physics of this thing. Okay. So I'm walking around with a little badger poking out of a bag that I'm carrying around as a backpack.
But yeah, the flute is no longer in their possession. It is now belonging to the Wayfarers Guild, and they have either offered up to someone as a reward or are posted up in their shop as a buyable item. Which is something you guys would probably know, is that magical items found in possession of criminals are filtered through, either placed in protective custody or resold as possible aids or rewards for other adventurers.
And I wonder who owned the capability beforehand.
Perhaps we can see if we can get that reward. We did bring in the guy after all.
Well, it is possible, assuming they don't want to use it for something else. And if they're willing to give us additional for what they already gave us. Well, no. Maybe it's in the shop, though I imagine such a dangerous item is probably not just up for sale, given what it was used for previously.
But yes, entering into the guard area, speaking about interviewing or interrogating this kobold individual.
Well, some of them didn't really have much more
wanted
to
an
ask.
update,
We just want to learn if anything additional was found out.
Oh, anything additional was found out. Okay, sorry.
Or their own interrogation.
Let's see. The kobold, while it has been pretty tight-lipped, doesn't really talk that much. When the guard comes by for its nightly, inspection, all of that, the kobold is seen praying in its little cell. And let's see here, there are rolls in for this guard. Actually, when
Ahoy to Bahamut.
That's gonna work. He hears this kobold and he's talking to the guards like he just keeps praying to this Ogtool.
Ogtu. Can I roll a religion check on that?
I'm sorry because the accent and everything. Ogtool.
Ogtool.
Wait, we know that. That is... Oh, fuck. I'm sorry in my notes anymore because I got those ones got deleted. That's the guy that the fucking necromancer was following, right?
Yes.
I think so. That's what I was.
That's the same guy that was doing the necromancy bullshit in the fucking mansion. He's the fuck. Remind me what he did. I remember that.
Runerion's first lich.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
I
at least we have more
discussed it with several.
confirmation on the connection.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, good sir. We were hoping to see what else we could learn, and this has potentially helped us plenty.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for capturing it.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll...
I was going to say thank you for being open about what you learned.
Oh, of course.
You have thanked this man multiple times, no, really.
Anyways, I turn and motion for the group to head out, and then once we're away from the guards, I'll just kind of look to them as we're walking and talking. So potentially, we are still dealing at least this very much confirms one suspicion we had, which is very much likely that though for a time we could have surmised that the events of the mansion and the necromancer were not linked, and that the kobolds raiding or being around the manor were two separate entities as such, especially since our necrotic friend had died and passed. I think this is more than enough reason to at least tie one thread to say they are linked, and we may be dealing with our little gilded hand problem, some form of additional necromancy.
Does this mean we'll have to return the reward for the manor?
No, I doubt it. We handled the problem, at least, that was currently plaguing the town, and while I would argue and say that yes, I think I understand what you're getting at, which is the problem is likely not entirely taken care of. There is unfortunately nothing we can do about it at the moment, and they did give us the reward for at least clearing the place out and showing proof of. We were only meant to get the bodies, and we did at least give the local guard an idea of where and how the place had been originally infiltrated from. So, at the very least, we had to equip them with the knowledge necessary to potentially stop a similar event from happening, though it does seem that at least the original problem of the necromancer was taken care of.
Fair enough. I'll take that reasoning.
Well, then I guess we go back to the Rabbit's Foot and await our carriage.
I want to stop by the Wayfarers first to see if I can get that flute.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me see here real quick.
Wait, didn't you say the weasel was kind of grayish and blue, right?
Yeah, grayish and blue.
Is the badger gray and blue?
No, he's more of like a dirty brown.
Yeah, okay.
Why dirty?
Okay,
yeah.
Let me see here. Just try to remember in my notes if I have it for the items, their price and everything. Oh wait, no, that's right. Okay, so as you enter the store and everything, go ahead and just put this back up. Boom. It basically takes the place of the talking doll in terms of pricing. It's about 50 gold pieces. Yeah. Yeah, you do see a cloak of, they have more cloaks of billing. They sell the Pearl Power, and Staff of Flowers. They sell the Bag of Holding and the Boots of Levitation, as well as just everything else here.
Leslie,
Yes.
how would you like to control rats?
I would not say it's been a dream of mine, but would not mind the opportunity, I guess.
I believe I do need to repay you for a gift received, so I'll take the flute.
Okay. Let's see here. It's not called Pipe of the Sewers. What is it called? Something in the sewers. It is Pipes of the Sewers. Why is it not? Alright. So, mark off 50 gold pieces, Reggie. And I guess if it's given to Leslie, add to your inventory a Pipes of the Sewers.
Thank you, Reggie.
I hope you will use them well.
I will find some way to truly make this item shine. Wait, which Pipes of the Sewers?
2014 version.
2014.
The Legacy version.
Cool. Does anybody need any healing potions or anything of the sort before we leave? Even if you have the spells, it may not be a bad idea.
Yes, I suppose we should be prepared. Let's see.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to check what Magic Tricks is as an item. I thought this was something that Chris made up.
No, it's an actual item.
Had any of you requested this?
Yeah, so you requested that item in the game.
Wait,
Oh,
what
no.
item?
Oh no.
Was it?
I should give it to the
Which item?
the bag of tricks that gives me an
Uh,
animal.
I don't remember what I requested, to be honest.
See, I don't remember either. I remember I requested the rat one, but that was just.
I remember when I requested it was this, but now I kind of feel bad for taking it.
Why?
I don't know. It's okay.
Wait. Hang on.
And since I know exactly who requested it, but it's fine, because...
Okay.
This part is right next to. I don't think the bag of tricks, but definitely the bag of beans, and I wrote funny.
Yeah!
These were a bunch of Sal requests.
Alright,
That's funny.
Yeah, actually, I don't feel like spending gold.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it
all
was
set.
Sal. I thought it was actually Nikki who asked for the bag of tricks.
No. Wait, tricks. I don't think I asked for the bag of tricks.
Did somebody ask for it then? Or was I silly and I just added because I thought it was funny?
Probably added it because I thought it was funny, because
I don't feel bad. I'm definitely keeping this.
I did request
did
a bag
ask
of
for it.
beans.
Yeah, you and another person asked for a bag of beans. And maybe.
And you were the only one to decline a bean.
No,
I
I
ate
ate
one.
bean.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, he ate one, and remember the flowers started talking to him.
Yep.
All right, yeah. Of course.
All right. I'm not shopping. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, you can if you want, you can just while away your time until the carriage comes by to pick you all up to take you over to the Arcana Quarter.
As we're sitting around, I'm going to be doing a little, when you do the thing with like, kind of like a laser pointer, but I'm just doing it with my hands. While we're sitting there at the table, you're starting to realize I'm becoming incredibly uncharacteristic because the badger is on the table and I'm doing the bit with it where I like slap my hand and it tries to catch me, and then I slap my other hand and it tries to catch me, and I'm just doing it back and forth.
I hate to interrupt good time, but I don't believe we have our interims paid out to our return date, so it might be in everyone's best interest to go and pack.
Yes.
Come on, Trixie. And I pick up the badger and put it in my bag. And go back
Any of you
upstairs.
need any help packing, please let me know. I am all set already.
I will go pack, and then eventually come back down with my rolling suitcase.
Just double checking. You guys still have the fucking giant wolf head on the plaque, right?
Yeah, it's in.
It's not on the
Airline.
plaque, it's just a wolf head.
Oh, it's just a wolf head. Okay.
Yeah, it's sitting in the room.
All right. I just want to make sure.
But yeah, I'll go and pack everything up and carry the wolf head out to Celeste to carry.
Thank you for holding on to this.
Of course.
As the carriage approaches, the off the back end, a person comes up and they start helping you pack yourself to the back end. They very carefully handle the giant wolf head. They're able to safely pack it away in the back, and you are able to enter the carriage to traverse through the Arcana Quarter. Passing through, you enter right from this building here. And
Thank you.
You see Gregorio standing in front, and he like waves you all down. It's like, there you are.
Afternoon, Gregorio.
Pleasure to see you all again. And again, thank you for taking this this task.
Of course.
Thank you again for the offer.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm willing to make a deal. So,
Yes.
let me show you to your accommodations for the foreseeable next few days. And he makes his way into like this little alcove area that kind of dips deeper into like in between the buildings. You kind of enter this like central like hub area. And sitting there up on like stilts and everything, kind of like held up, is a like the size of like a long like like one of those yacht, not yacht, but like I don't know, it's a big boat.
Wow. A sailboat?
Yeah, it's kind of sailboatish.
Oh,
Sailboats can
I
get
guess I
big
have to
heads.
ask now really quick for bag of tricks. What color was it?
The badger.
It matters.
Oh
No, the bag.
The bag. It's gray.
Okay, I have the gray bag of tricks. Got it.
It is like it has a nice like golden sheen to it, but it's like made of wood. It's like a treated wood. And the sail is this like luminescent blue, Like it seems like it has this like weird like sheen to it as well. It is big enough to very much comfortably seat all of you in there with room to spare, especially because it has a crew and everything. And he motions to it. It's like, this is where you'll be staying for the next day and a half as you travel to Avare, and then obviously day and a half back. This is a new ship, so I don't have a name for it yet, but according to what I've heard, she's very good, very solid ship.
Good. Well, then, I'm sure our creative lot will probably come up with a pet name for it in due time.
Have you often flown yourself?
Oh, no, I can't be trusted behind the wheel. That's why I have drivers.
Oh, sorry. I mean, have you ever often gone flying yourself?
A few times. I'm much more acquainted with the ground, but sometimes I will.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Give him a laugh.
Especially something like this. I'm used to the luxury ones. This one's a bit more speedy. So you might get a little airsick.
Oh, no.
You will be fine. When you handle the train, it will be alright.
I did handle the train. You may be right.
And this don't handle like train.
Oh,
Well,
no.
let me try to ease him. Goodness gracious.
What's the word? Even though he doesn't really show fear, you can just tell. Like, he's like, oh. You can fight the demons, not fly in the sky.
I do have one question.
Oh, of course.
Is smoking prohibited?
We ask you smoke above the quarter, so if you can smoke on deck, but not below deck.
Fair enough.
And let me see if I can find the captain. Ah, there he is. Over here, sir. And you see across the way, you see a very lithe, small tabaxi, black fur, with like aviator's cap and goggles come over. Oh, yes, sir. This is captain of the ship. This is Tabald. He will be your captain during the drive down.
Nice to meet you, Tabble. I am Aurelia Bloodstone. These are my compatriots, Lester Bournes, Father Sybil Argus, and Reginald Van Buren and the Locomotivators, and I very much thank you for manning this fine ship for us.
Yes, no
We
problem.
met on the train.
I figured that from the Locomotivators, mate.
We met on a train.
So we met on a train?
It's part's not as important. Either way, thank you again. Any requests from us, do's and don'ts that you would like us to abide by?
Oh, well, if you could just stay away from the engine rooms and smoke above the board, just make sure you're smoking on deck. Drinks, keep them to a minimum. Drunkenness and flying does not mix properly. He sees the badger and is like, is that animal going to be okay on the flight?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, that's all the do's and don'ts I got. We'll come up with other ones as we go.
I pat Trixie's head and just make kind of like put it back in the bag.
She kind of just shifts beneath.
Yep, I'm naming it Trixie. Bag of tricks.
Great name, yeah.
Yeah?
Alright. And he shows you to the ship. It is well furnished. Has a small like sitting area below deck. There's little small cabins, very very small, like probably enough to fit your bags and a little small bed for you to sleep on. That's about it. And it seems like it has like a little food storage area, so they have like a small snacks will have, but it's not like a full kitchenette kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
This is meant for brisk takes, not like long
Yeah,
journeys.
ships fast.
Ships fast. But they will help you get situated, and pretty soon you're basically like moments before you take off.
Well, Rydia, I know it's not up to your usual standard, but hopefully it'll be okay. He says with a little jab.
It'll be fine. Just don't none of you snort too loud. And I'll put my stuff on my bunk.
Okay.
I'm gonna toss down my bag, but when I do, it should set off the doll
No.
to just say, "Are you my mommy?"
Yeah,
It's detecting downward motion.
Does it use his voice or a doll's voice? It's like a.
It's
like a
like, it's
doll
like
voice,
his
right?
voice, but it's like pitched weirdly.
Are you my mommy?
I literally spin and turn. You said that.
Could have been anyone.
Is there someone here we need to know about? A stowaway, perhaps?
I don't think so. Perhaps the ship is haunted.
I am investigating. I fucking. It's like checking
Good enough
the
for
mess.
me.
Reggie, roll me a deception.
I choose to fail.
I go over to where I feel like I've heard the voice coming from, and I see his stuff, and I'm just going to literally open and start rummaging through his shit.
Reggie, do you stop her?
No, the jig is up.
I grabbed the doll.
The jiggy.
It is a very like haunted-looking doll. As you pick it up, would any of its voices activate in this moment, Reggie?
The one that's brushing in contact would say, "Who goes there?"
You just hear Reggie's voice come and go, "Who goes there?"
I drop it. Downward motion. Are you my mommy? It's like jumping in and I'm like,
What is this thing steal to your soul?
what is this? And why is it asking this?
It's a gift from Lusty.
Yes.
Forgot it was a gift.
Yeah, from the
Why is it asks who goes there? It asks if someone is its mommy. Why?
Well,
Curiosity.
one of them is strategic. The other was a prank that I never got to execute.
My eyes fucking furrow. I'm just looking at it.
I want to just say that I'm looking at him just deadpan.
Do I strike you as the mummy type?
Well, no, but that's why I would think you wouldn't suspect it was me.
God, the goblin mask is strong.
I just look down at it. Uh-huh. I see. Well, let's not,
I will reprogram it tonight and get rid of that one.
I just like cough into my fist. Hi. Very well. Yes, possibly of something of more use than that.
It would have been really funny though.
Just think about the moment where, and on any amount of downward movement in the airship, just hearing, "Are you my mommy?"
No, my guys, we're descending the whole way down.
Hit an air
Are you
turbine.
my mommy? Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? Okay, I assume...
Admittedly, it works better on the ground.
I would imagine so. You might want to give it different parameters while we're
It was
on the
supposed
ship.
to go under your bed.
Oh my
Were you
lord.
planning on getting in there?
I would have found a way.
Reggie, I've been watching the halts every single night. What do you mean?
I would get your help.
I just run my hands through my hair, walk off, and then
Enough of this shit.
hold on, sleight of hand to see if I'm gonna sleight of hand. It's against what's it, Reggie, really quick. Ah, damn, a 5. I very noticeably just yoink a cigar from him and walk off to go upstairs to the top
I
of the
believe
ship.
she's earned that.
I keep my bag with me and Trixie. And I assume we head off?
Yeah.
As
I don't think I have anything to investigate.
As Gregario like just waves you from the ground as the ship lurches up and takes off, you are greeted by high winds and a great view of the land surrounding. As I will move you all to the map once more.
Which one of these boats are ours?
Oh wait,
None of them. Those are on the water.
actually it should be
Boats on the water, train on the track.
As you are now flying from Tirashrove down to Port Avare.
Awesome.
And that's where we're going to end our session.
Let's go.
Already.
Jesus, that flew by. I must have been having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I did
you
not
guys are
feel
good
like
stuff.
8 yet.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got some kind of payoff with the doll.
That was really good.
I mean, what was that? Picks it
What
up.
in
The hell?
We all
What do you
just
do?
immediately turned around and
I would
looked at
say
it, even
Trixie
Seville.
would have heard that, come out and start hissing at the doll.
I just love the. What was that? Picks it up. Who goes there? Drops it? Are you my mom?
I mean, it
Once
still
it's
worked.
so
You
good.
still, in a way, you still got the prank on her because it scared the shit out of her. And then she was, of course, immediately offended.
Oh, fantastic.
I
Really?
use the
Was
mummy
offended?
type.